Certainly feeling like spring out there. We've both got our T-shirts on today. I was outside in a T-shirt for a little while. Oh my gosh, so nice.
And good to pack a moving truck.
Yes, it was a perfect day for moving, so thank you, Blake.
And not so much tomorrow.
I will take the thanks today, that's for sure. I was jamming out to some music with the windows cracked down a little bit. So nice end to our week, but yes, some winter weather will return for the weekend. Not a huge surprise. Tomorrow is the final day of February and Old Man Winter wants to make his presence felt somewhat. Our 13 weather ball is blinking blue. Yes, colder temperatures are in view, not only tomorrow, but through the entirety of the weekend. And we do have some snow in sight, primarily the second half of tomorrow. Your 13 weather ball brought to you by LaFontaine Ford of Grand Rapids. But today has been a beautiful day, a nice change of pace after a somewhat cooler than average week. Each and every day this week has been slightly cooler than average, but today we have seen those numbers soar through the 40s and for many even into the lower to middle 50s. That's a good 10, 15 degrees above average, and this is all being driven off this south and west wind, at times a touch breezy. We've seen a few wind gusts upwards of 30 miles per hour. But the focus this evening through tonight is an incoming cold front. Cold front's on the other side of Lake Michigan right now, and while this cold front will not bring in any precipitation, it will do its job in the way of temperatures. It will cause those numbers to crash all the way into the upper 20s by tomorrow morning, and there's not much of a climb tomorrow. We'll climb back into the lower to middle 30s at best as that wind direction turns to the north and west. There's the cold front, and you can see there's little to no precipitation ahead of this front. So for the most part, we'll have a dry evening and a dry night ahead. No issues if you have out and about plans. Our focus is this swath of snow back towards Montana into western Canada. This is going to work its way through the upper Midwest into the Great Lakes region over the next 24 hours. And we'll say this swath of snow has been quite tricky to forecast, at least in terms of the placement of snow here across the state of Michigan. So let's get into it. Our hour-by-hour forecast, we're quiet this evening through tonight under a partly cloudy sky. Clouds will increase in coverage as tomorrow goes on, but notice tomorrow morning, we're still dry, so no issues through the first half of tomorrow. But starting tomorrow afternoon, here's about 3 o'clock, mid-afternoon tomorrow, that's when snow will work its way into West Michigan. And as of now, it seems like the best chance of snowfall will be somewhere near and northward of I-96, at least the most consistent snow tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening. For the most part, the snow will be on the lighter side, maybe a few pockets of heavier snow, but this will be all out of here by midnight tomorrow, and especially by daybreak on Sunday. So for now, we're expecting a broad 1 to 2 inches of snow for much of West Michigan, at least from Ottawa, Kent, Ionia County to the north. A little less towards I-94, maybe upwards of an inch at best. If there is a location that could overachieve right now, it does appear to be closer to US 10, where there could be some sneaky higher accumulation. Again, we'll say confidence is not great in this forecast with this swath of snow, but I also want to say we're not expecting anything major at this point. I think this is a very manageable snow event for us, maybe just enough for some slick spots here and there. And again, this is all out of here by Sunday. So Sunday still chilly, temperatures in the upper 20s. We do rebound as next week goes on, numbers in the lower 30s Monday and Tuesday, and then we start to soar into the 40s, even some 50s potentially by the end of next week. Now, while we are quiet Sunday and Monday, our next focus of weather will be Tuesday. System comes through, temperatures closer to that freezing mark on Tuesday. Could be a wintry mix briefly Tuesday morning before we warm up enough to transition most of us over to rain. And by far, once we get towards the end of next week with those warmer than average temperatures, we'll just contend with rainfall as the precipitation type. And notice, you can see that the long-range forecast still supports an above-average pattern as we get towards next weekend, even into the following week. So your 13 on your side, 7-day forecast. Up and down we go. That's typical as we start to flip the calendar over to March. We'll have that snow chance tomorrow. There will be some snow across West Michigan, but we dry out quickly for the back end of the weekend. And then Juliet and Julia, a little bit of a slow climb next week, but eventually by the end of the week, we'll start to soar back into the 40s and maybe even some 50s.